There.
No.
We're live, Rachel.
Hello, I was ready this time.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's good. I'm very excited to bead. Same difference with you today, Rachel.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm excited. I've been gearing up for the holidays for like so many months. It's crazy they're here.
I know, literally, I was like, when December 1st hit, I was like, whoa, oh my God, really? Now?
Yeah,
It's
it
time.
feels like it's still like January.
2020.
But for real. I was like, what do you mean I've got a holiday sale?
Right, I feel. It's been a busy week at Sam's Bead Shop that I'm a little tired. Um, Excited for the weekend. But also, before we start that weekend, we get to bead together, and we've
Yes.
got today's kind of is day one of our gift making series. So day one is ornament making. So we did an ornament making party last year too, and it's back. Last week we just did the snowflake
We just did
ornaments
the
last year.
snowflakes last year.
But today, uh-uh.
We're
we are
gonna do
doing
some other ones.
we're gonna do icicles and we're gonna do snowflakes. So we have like a plethora of
Yes.
ornament ideas. And I just think they're so fun. Their ornaments are a great like stash buster. They're a great way to just kind of use up beads in a new way. And you get to like hang them on your tree because every tree deserves jewelry. Um,
Sorry.
Rachel and I both have trees.
Yes, I have a little tree. It's got a little Yoda on top. Um,
It's a very cute Yoda from Judy.
yeah, Judy made it. It's so cute.
You know, if you could grab it for us, I don't know if it's really high up. It's so cute.
If it's
Um,
really high up, my tree is literally 18 inches.
oh,
Um, it's the cat is taller, but it's like all the way back there.
gotcha. Um, yeah, so we're gonna make icicles, which is what excuse me, which is what Rachel's gonna be demoing. Rachel's a couple kind of methods for making the icicles. They're both pretty like beginner friendly, and you can kind of pick which method you like. And then I'll be showing the super easy uh, snowflake
Cute.
frames. This is one I made last year, and they're
Yes.
just a lot of fun. And I'm going to kind of go over some of the quirks of working with the frame since they're such a thick gauge wire. And so we'll go over some of that kind of the last third of class or so. But this is first warning that these frames are now finally available. We had these
Yes.
November 1st last year, but supply chain's real, y'all, and they're finally here. And I have like a good amount, but I don't have as many as I had last year, I'm pretty sure. So if you'd like them, head on over to the website. I literally just published them to the website, and I put a link in the post of this video. So put a few into your cart and snag those so that we can get those out to the door to you as soon as possible. Anyway, let's begin.
Yes. Let's begin. So for this project, it's super easy. You're gonna need 20 gauge wire, and then if you want to make hooks, I would use 18 gauge wire. If you're using the German style wire that Sarah uses, it might be okay to use 20 gauge for the hooks, but I'm not sure as I'm not familiar with that wire really. I'm using dead soft bare copper wire. So you're gonna need that. And I'm going to start with the 20 gauge wire, but you're also going to need beads that fit on the 20 gauge wire. So I have these I went through all of my, all of the old bead boxes and I pulled out some of the beads and I thought the red and green ones would be so cute together. And I think I'm going to throw these on there too. These very shiny lentils. So we're going to start with, I guess we'll start with this one. So I made two different styles of icicle ornaments. One is just a straight line ornament, which is great for maybe beads you don't necessarily want to wrap over. And then we're also going to make the one with the wraps on it. And I have another one somewhere around here. You can also make a couple of thinner ones Oh, I've got them all twisted now. And put them on one of the hooks like this. Let's see. Sorry, I just saw a comment. I saw a fabulous tip today about using. Oh, that's so cool. That one you should read, Sam.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm gonna definitely talk about that
So
when we get to our
you
snowflake
knew which
portion.
comment I was talking about.
100%.
So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my 20 gauge and I'm gonna cut a 12-inch piece of wire. And that's gonna be too much for this one. I was thinking about the other one, but you know what? We're gonna roll with it. Copper is easily recycled, so I'm gonna roll with my 12-inch piece. Unless we want to start with the other one, but I've already got it in my head that we're starting with the swirl one. I love these swirls. I used to make them all of the time.
Yeah, I feel like I remember. I think swirls just might have just used to be like a bigger thing. Like
Oh,
I remember
maybe.
I used to make swirls all the time for earrings.
So for those that don't know how to make the swirls, I'm going to show you. So I've got my wire end and I'm going to make just a regular loop. I'm sure there's many other ways that people make these swirls, but this is the way that I like to do it. So I made my loop and then I kept twisting so that it overlapped a little bit, if you can see that. And then I'm going to come in here. This is a perfect project to use your nylon jaws if you have them, but I'm going to use my chain nose because I'm a monster.
I think they just have a lot better grip than the nylon jaw for this sort of thing.
They do. The nylon jaws won't mar your wire, but if you're using a harder wire like the German style, it won't. I mean, I don't think that I'm really marring my wire much with these. They don't have any grips on them.
I mean, even if you're work hardening it a bit, like that's not a bad thing necessarily.
Yeah. I think I'm going to make this swirl really giant. But basically what I'm doing is I'm just gripping it tightly and twisting and then readjusting.
Yes, giant swirl.
Yes.
It'll be
Since I
like its
have
own
all of
bead.
this wire, we're going to make it huge. Why not?
It'll be
I mean, these would be perfect. Somebody said in the comments earlier, I don't remember who it was, but they're like, I don't really use ornaments, but these would be great sun catchers. So they really, depending on what stones or beads you use, they're really multi-purpose. You can make like a little banner with them. I think that's about as big as this swirl is going to get without going a little haywire.
huh.
It already started. So I'm just going to bend up the edge. It doesn't want to stay where I put it. There we go. And then I'm going to start putting my beads on. The check glass beads are great for this. They all have bigger holes.
We have a great comment about using tool magic to dip your metal tools into so that they don't mar wire, which is a great tip.
Yeah, I bought some tool magic actually per Nile's insistence that it was amazing for silver silk. I was like, well, obviously now I need to get this tool magic. And I don't think I'm doing it right. Because
Why?
I put it on my tools and it's like really thick. I wasn't sure how
Yeah,
thick
the ones
it's
on
supposed to
Nile
be.
looked pretty thick.
Okay, so maybe I did do it right and it just I used it on my tiny pliers, so I think that also probably wasn't my best decision.
So you started, which gauge wire here did you start with?
This is 20 gauge.
That's really nice because I feel like you can fit, you were saying like the holes in check glass are large enough, like you could fit most standard drills onto a 20 gauge
Oh
wire.
yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't want to go much thinner than this because the 20 gauge is still pretty malleable. So if you went thinner than this, I worry that it might be really easy to distort the ornaments you're making. Then again, like depending on how long you make them. This one's just really long.
Rachel's going for it on this first one, and I can tell she's using entirely beads from past bead boxes.
I am.
Oh wait, let me see if I think I can name them all. So those lentils, those top drill lentils you have there that I am obsessed with are from the October box.
Yes.
The red twist ovals are from like literally the Sunburst box way back in May.
I'm trying
And
to find the
those
bags.
emerald teal ovals, I think, are from the Peacock box.
Are
And
from,
that would be June.
yeah, you're right. You're right on all three accounts.
Heck yeah. You said, yeah, I love that you're assembling a box to make a holiday box. It's pretty fantastic, Rachel.
Pretty much. I have a whole pile of holiday colored beads over here. All
Those,
right.
that red and teal, like emerald teal, works really nicely
They're
together.
so pretty. It's like an elevated holiday pattern. So when I'm done, there are two ways you can finish this. You can finish it with a regular loop or you can finish it with a wrapped loop. So it's totally up to you. I think I'm gonna go wrapped loop. Why not? And I think I might actually messy wrap it a little bit to kind of stand up to how humongous my swirl is at the bottom.
Do you have any thoughts about like length for an ornament?
No, it just kind of depends on how big your tree is, honestly. I think that for big trees, something like this might not be too crazy. As I was making this, I was thinking, oh, this would be really pretty if I made like a banner of them, and this was the center one because it's so ginormous. Um,
And
but for
what would the banner look like?
oh, it would be like this, and then like smaller ones on either side,
Oh, cute.
and then I'm not sure if I would hang it with wire or with. I mean, if you made the hooks, you could hang it on Christmas lights.
Oh,
You could
yeah.
hang these on lights, you could hang them on cabinets. Once you make the hooks, it's whatever the hook will fit on.
You could
Um,
decorate your whole house in beads.
you really could. I mean, if you wanted to make them extra long, you could make a beaded curtain. That might be a little weird with wire. I might go with like a stringing thing
Right.
with that.
You can even make a long ornament like that with stringing wire. No reason you couldn't do soft flex.
Yeah. But for my little tree, these ones that I made before, let me see how long they are. These are probably about as long as I wanted to go for them. And I think this is a beautiful length. It's about 3 inches. And I like that, as I think this would be really pretty on a big tree too. It's big enough to see, but small enough to where you could definitely put other ornaments around it. Probably under 6 inches. This one is huge. This one is not even 6 inches yet. This one is like 5.5. So you probably, I mean, I would not have cut 12 inches for this. I probably would have cut more like maybe like 8 if I was going to do it this size again. But let's go ahead and move on to the one that I clearly wanted to start with, I guess. And this one is
Which
going to
one's
be
that?
12 inches. The ones where you wrap around it. And oh, I should have picked which beads I'm going to use for this. I am going to use my nylon jaws on this wire because I'm getting towards the end of my spool. It is very, I can't think of the word. It's like all,
Gnarly.
yeah, it's got like a bunch of bumps in it.
It's kinked.
Yeah, see, I was gonna use that word, but I was gonna put a Y on the end, and I was like, I'm not gonna say that. Um,
Why filter today? What's the point?
okay, so let's see. For this one, ooh, I know. These would be so pretty. These are
Ooh, more bead box beads. Rachel, you are pulling out all the stops
I
today.
told you I had a whole pile of them right here. I picked out all the beads I thought would be pretty together. And we're gonna go with these, I think. And then maybe we will still put some of the, I don't know how it's gonna be wrapping around the lentils. I don't know if that's gonna be fun or if that's gonna be weird.
It's definitely easier to wrap around a more round bead, right?
Yeah, you know what? I will try it for you. So what's the point of me being on here if I'm not going to try it for you? I think this is a little longer than 12 inches. Is it 12 inches? Just about. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-fold my wire. So I'm gonna get about probably like 7 inches and 5 inches. So it looks like that. Maybe a little bit more.
So your goal is to have a shorter side on this?
Yes. That's going to be the side that you're stringing your beads on. If you fold it beforehand, it's just going to be easier when you go to wrap around. You're not going to be putting stress on the beads. So where do I want to start? Let's start with one of these on the bottom. So I'm just going to start stringing my beads.
Anna Marie says wrapping the lentils is going to be a pain in the...
It's going to be a pita. I love pita bread.
Delicious.
Yeah, I'm like, now I need Greek food. We have this great Greek restaurant around here, and you can order like a box of meat, and that thing weighs like 5 pounds. It's so much. It's so much meat. It says for 2 to 3 people, and for the 2 of us, we eat it for like an entire week. Which, based on the price of it, like definitely, it's good to eat it for an entire week. But it would be like a perfect party platter. I'm selling you on this Greek restaurant in Astoria. You're welcome.
Everyone go to Queens.
Yeah, go to Queens. I can tell you about this great box of meat.
Once Rachel shows this ornament, I think we should do our tree lighting before we do the snowflake frames. I think I definitely meant to do this tree lighting at the beginning, but we'll just do it right in the middle.
We should sing the Shehechianu when we do the tree lighting. Put some Star of David ornaments on there. Okay, let's see. This is looking a little crazy. I don't want to do too many. I'm going to stop there, actually. Okay. Then I'm going to come in and I am going to, you want to do your loop beforehand, because if you don't, then when you go back to wrap around, it's going to push all of your beads up and it's going to end up being probably not how you want it to look. I did that on one of them. This one, you can see there's like gaps in between. That one doesn't have a gap. So you want to just go ahead and do your loop before you start wrapping around.
It's like you're making your bead stopper, so then we can go on to the next step. Is basically.
Let's see.
Oh, but you're not doing a wrap loop here.
No, I was thinking about it, but I'm not going to because I've got to wrap my what's it called? This wire around the top. So then it's just going to be a big thing. And I don't want that on this one. So now I'm just going to come back around, and you can manipulate the wire with your fingers if you want. So you could curve it out. There's still a little bit of a gap, but you want to try and keep the gapping down to a minimum. So you don't need to wrap tight.
Oh my gosh, Rachel, I haven't done it with the gaps before. That's already like, it adds so much like volume.
This one I'm just
really
playing with. Yeah, this reminds me of the necklace that we made with the
lace.
Yeah.
The lacy necklace. I love that one.
So you can wrap this tight if you want to. I'm just giving it a little bit more volume on this one. And then I'll just give myself some space to wrap around the top. My flesh cutters, we accidentally melted something in the dishwasher, and I tried to cut it out with the flesh cutters. And I wrecked them a little bit. I wrecked them a little bit, but I like this a lot better now that I wasn't so sure about it before I started doing the looping. So that's one way you can do that. You can do it closer, absolutely. Let's see, where's my example on that? Where I did it closer to each bead. And if you really wanted to, you could make your loop afterwards if you're not sure about it, but it's easier to do it when you do it beforehand. So now we can make some of the loops. This is going to be very much like making ear wires. And you can really do it however you want. I'm going to grab my 18 gauge. Now for the big swirl, what I did was I grabbed something round and I bent my wire around it. I bend it around. And then I came back in with my fingers and I kind of made the loop inside of it a little bit smaller. And then come in with my pliers, and I'll fix that once I get it off the spool, but I'm going to do the other side now. I'm wrapping it around more than once just so I have enough wire to work with. So at this point, this would be a great time after you finish the loop on this side, which I'm going to do in a second. Just loop it around. This would be a great time if you wanted to thread on more than one ornament, or if you wanted to thread your one ornament on. You could also go back and open up your loops later and do this. Ooh, I love how that looks together.
Oh, that's lovely. Rachel, you're putting me in that holiday happy feel.
Oh, I'm glad you have the green turbines.
Oh yeah, I have almost all the beads you're using. I have the green
Oh, that makes
turbines,
me so happy. I
those
didn't even
crystal
know.
lentils are on the site. I have those red ovals. I think I even have those hematite rounds you have on your table too.
Is that what they're called?
I'm trying to remember what I called them. Let's see.
They're called, my bag is missing. That's what they're
Oh,
called.
here we go. Black Picasso luster. I have 10 strands of those. So we got most of those beads Rachel are using.
Oh,
We've got them.
yay. So you can make my exact ornaments.
Yeah, literally the one that Rachel's making right now. We have all those beads available.
The other
Julie,
ones
I
are
just dropped links to the green turbine. Just search like turbine or apple because there's the green apple turbines on the site. They'll
love
pop up.
this. I wasn't so sure about it while I was stringing it, but I am obsessed. It's
Oh
so
yeah,
pretty.
the black is like lustery, but then you have your brightness with the green, and then it's all swirly and whimsical. I love it.
So for regular hooks, you'll make them kind of like you make ear wires, but I like to make the rounded part first, which is actually the part I make last when I make ear wires, because I didn't want them to look like ear wires. Not that there's anything wrong with them looking like that. But, and I like to use, you can use your round nose pliers, you can use something you have that's rounded, you can use Dale making pliers, which is what I'm going to, are these even big enough? No. I like to have big hooks. I don't know. When you have the artificial trees, it's a little or easier to hang ornaments. But when you have a real tree, you need big hooks. They're too fluffy.
I was looking at Rachel. I had forgotten that I had made all those icicle ornaments last year.
Mm-hmm.
You had remembered. I literally had forgotten, and I looked at them. I was like, oh my god! I literally just used earring hooks on them, and it for my little size tree, it totally works, and it's very
Oh, yeah.
fun. And they're literally earrings for my tree.
So for I'm using 18 gauge to make the hooks right now. So this is so pretty like this. I love this hook. You can make whatever hooks you want. But I would say that try to make, don't wrap your loops, because then you won't be able to open them to attach your ornaments. You could also use these hooks on ornaments you already have.
Mm.
And you
Rachel just saved you some money there.
I did.
Make
Well,
your own
you know,
own
like
hooks.
these are so much prettier too. I would rather
Yeah.
have like this ornament really is laughably humongous. Um, but it looks better with the hook on it. I'm gonna say that. So I used 20 gauge on the what's it called? The ornaments, the icicles, and then I used 18 for the hook. And you can sand down your edges if you want, but it's going on the tree, so I'm not too worried about it. This one I might make smaller. I love
For your
this hook.
tree, it's going to be the same size as your tree.
This is like half my tree right here. I was so happy to find such a tiny tree.
How does okay, silly question. How do you hang the one on the left? How does that hang onto the tree?
It goes you like put the let me see if I can put you could just slip it over the branch. You could also open it up if you wanted with your fingers and slip the branch in there and then close it. But
Got it.
my mom
Almost like a
had
little
some of
clip.
these when I was growing up. She had ornaments that looked like ornament hooks that looked like this. I think they had like crystals or something on them, and they were so pretty. You could also, while you're making this, you could string beads on to it.
Oh.
If you have some with a big enough hole, I'll probably use like rondelles or something. We could do
You could use
that.
like a 6/0 seed bead on there.
Yeah, we can try that. Let's try that since we got a minute. So I'm just going to make my first loop. And then come back in with it.
And when do you put on your beads?
I'm going to put them on after I cut it off the thing.
This is so creative that it's so smart that you can just do the same size circles and then they just shrink once you make more coils.
Well, you can like shrink them yourself. I mean, my circles on both sides of this are about the same size.
Shira's here. Hi, Shira.
Let's see.
Oh, you don't even get a hello from Rachel, Shira.
Hi, Shira.
I guess y'all are fighting
you know what
again.
I was doing is I wanted to finish reading her comment because I only saw the beginning of it and I was like, I don't know what that means. Like I don't know why she's saying that. So
I think it's Shakespeare.
yes, but I didn't realize it was because she was saying like, "Hi, I'm here." All right, let's see if these fit on here.
Makeup.
It might be too. It's 18 gauge. Let me think of what I might have that would fit the 18 gauge wire. Something with big holes.
How many of those? Maybe something in your seed bead box. Do you have any of those 6/0 seed beads from last year?
I don't think I ever got any of those. I'm looking. I don't know where my seed bead box went. Oh, here it is.
If you wanted to get real fancy, you could wrap little gemstones onto the wire.
You absolutely could.
You could spend 1 hour per ornament.
These are maybe big enough. They kind of match the color of the wire. So funny. I have no trouble. No, that's a lie. I do have trouble with beads with small holes, but I also have trouble with beads with big holes. So maybe I just have trouble. But these fit. These fit. They're the same color basically, but they fit. All right. It's like a note to self, don't do any more seed bead projects from me. Danielle is so quick. She's like, boom, 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 boom. Oh, look, there's a whole bracelet. Me, I'm over here. Where's the hole?
Me.
How many times can I drop this before I manage to thread it onto the wire? This one is a little large. There we go. My clear crystal beads I have had for probably 10 years, so I'm so sorry.
But they look like a Chinese crystal to me, so those are pretty widely
I think
available
they
these
probably
days.
are. I
I don't personally carry Chinese crystals in the shop, but you can find those online.
yeah, I'm sure I probably got them at like the craft store, honestly.
Ooh, I already like the little decor on it. That's really nice.
Yeah. So if you can manage to get beads on to the 18 gauge wire. Come on, buddy. Stop dropping. I think the problem is that these like just fit on the wire. But yeah. Do two more.
I'm kind of obsessed with the color of these seed beads, Rachel.
They're like a pretty copper color. I have a if you looked at my CB box is very small. But all of the seed beads for the most part are very much like you could look at it and go, "Oh, that's something Rachel would pick."
Like those would make really nice spacers on like a strung piece.
I can't get these on.
I think in a few minutes it might be time for
For the
our
tree.
annual tree lighting.
I don't remember the lighting of the tree being a thing last year.
Oh no, it wasn't. We're making it a thing.
Okay. No more of these are fitting on here. I think
Jesse,
I
do you want to do the tree lighting with us?
have found I found the only ones that would fit and I already put them on. Oh, is this one gonna go? No. Okay. We're gonna give up on this part. But if you have beads that would fit, they would be beautiful. This one is stuck. Um there we go. So I'm just gonna finish my ornament, but yeah, if you have oh, I don't have an ornament to hang on it.
Jesse, do you want to do the honors of switching on the tree in a moment?
That's a lot of responsibility. I don't know how you handle that.
It's behind that sheet. All right, wait, not yet though.
You're just locating it.
Alrighty.
Get some more ornaments.
Oh, we're gonna load up with more ornaments. Alrighty, Rachel, you ready?
I am very ready.
Alrighty. Oh, I'm blocking the tray. Went the wrong way. 3, 2, 1. Yay! Thanks, Jesse. Ah. Oh, it's so pretty. So you might see some lovely ornaments from folks from the shop. We've got oh my god, this one's handmade. This is have a
It's
good
so
weekend,
cute.
Jesse. I think this is fused glass from Angela Cassio's shop. It's so cute, and it comes with like a great little hook. There's another hook idea,
Love it.
and then we've got an avocado and a pineapple from Brenda. I think the
Um,
hearts from Michelle Spawn.
Sam Shira wants to know why all the ornaments are in one line.
Because we're gonna add more. Okay, we're gonna add
Okay.
more.
Okay.
This is phase 1. Um,
Phase 1,
Shira,
line up your ornaments.
the heaviest ornament is this music, this treble clef from Shira, and it's heavy enough to kill someone. And what else? And then the other ones I have are my icicle ornaments. I don't remember who sent the avocado. It's very cute.
I love the avocado. Makes me want an avocado. I don't have any.
Rachel and I are very easily influenced to for food items with on a whim.
I really did buy burritos that one day. I was like, I texted my boyfriend and I was like, hey, can we get Mexican food, please?
Yes.
I really have a need for a burrito.
Alrighty. So Rachel, are you good on your end that I could switch over to?
Yeah, let's do the ornament frames. I'm excited.
All right, I gotta switch my audio, so maybe you can chit chat with folks for like 15 seconds.
Okay, now I've got to you put me on the spot. I got to decide what to talk about. Let's see. I will say that the reason that I didn't preload the beads before I started twirling is because I was worried they would distort the roundness of the wire. I like the way it turned out. So I'm fine with loading them afterwards. It's just painful to watch. So I apologize for that. Ornaments should also be able to be used as weapons because big trouble with the clef. Oh my gosh, Shira, stop.
Okay, testing. Can you hear
Yay.
me, Rachel?
Yes, I can hear you. Ornament party.
Alrighty. Okay. So for the other option of ornaments, we've got snowflake ornaments. Here's one I did last year. This is all some check glass English cut, some other random things I found in my stash, like these I had forever. And then I find I have really good luck with 6-0 seed beads on these. Let me grab, oh yeah, here's one. Here's what the frames look like when they come to you. Yes, it's an 8-pointed snowflake, which just doesn't exist in the universe, but in the Sans Beauty Shop universe, it exists. And I like these because they tend to feel like a lot fuller of a ornament with the 8 strands. They also are really, like they're really thick. Like they're like basically like some sort of steel something, really thick gauge, which
Really
makes them really
sturdy.
sturdy. Yeah. So it's really nice and sturdiness, but it does create some challenges while you're making it because it means you can't use every type of bead on them. That's the kind of the biggest piece you have to pay attention to. Like I was working on this one and I did these strands first, but then found that I could not get my little drift, my 8mm drifts or these faceted rounds onto these strands. So it does appear that a few of the strands are a thicker gauge, and those might be like the ones that are more of like the base structure of this piece are a little thicker gauge. So definitely when you're making these, test out the beads on a bunch of the strands before you do it. And then the other tip we figured out last year is while you're planning it, just use Scotch tape on the ends. Because
perfect.
it really, it means like you can, go ahead.
Did you saw that comment earlier where she said that you could use the plastic earring backs? So that's a perfect tip too.
Yeah,
I never thought of that.
So I was gonna say, yeah, so we had this last year, and then someone commented earlier, and I think it's genius that you can use those rubber earring backs. And I went to go search for some, and I have not found any of mine yet. But if they are tight enough, that would definitely work on this. You need to make sure your beads aren't going to come push that back off.
Oh yeah, I think they would be perfect for while you're planning the ornament. I don't know if I would leave them on there.
Yeah. But that's the basic premise of how to use these. We just got these into the shop. You get a pack of 5 of them in a pack. And I literally just posted them to the website. So first come, first serve on those. These are some of our experiments from last year of the ways you can finish it.
Oh yeah.
So this is what do you remember? This is literally from last year's class.
Mm-hmm.
You can twist the wires sideways, which I kind of like because you could then have the opportunity to hang things if you want to from these loops.
Yeah.
This is a very work hardened. This is not dead soft wire at all. It's about 2 or 3 times stronger. So on the thinner strands, I was able to use kind of near the tip to bend it. But on the ones that were thicker, you have to use a thicker part of your round nose pliers to really get it to work. So
Yeah.
that's one way, so you can go that way. Normally I just bend it backwards, and I kind of like that from the front you then just can't see the loop and it has a nice like finished feeling to it. That's how I mostly have done it. There's one, let me grab the one that, this is the first one I made last year that is still my favorite. Just featuring all
Yes.
these Aurora crystals I used to have in the shop.
I like all the
And
twirl that you did to make it the tree topper.
I loved it so much it had to be my tree topper. And all this that was just coiled around some sort of dowel or bail making pliers, I think. And
Or
I'm sure you
Sharpie.
can come up with a better way to do it. Yeah, I just fudged it because I wanted it to be on the top of my tree. But that is another way you could definitely use these. A lot of folks who didn't use them as ornaments last year got really into making these into sun catchers.
Oh, I didn't see those. I know a lot of people
Because
are making them for gifts too.
yeah, like very wintry sun catchers that you could hang, and they look how beautifully they catches the
That's
light.
so fun. I love that.
Yeah, so definitely start experimenting with your beads and see what is possible on these, because it is not everything. Like 100%. I wish I could use everything in my stash, but it's simply not possible. But definitely like surefire place to start is with 6O seed beads. We found those to be really nice to play with last year. So I figured do a couple strands of these just to kind of demo how this works. It's really nice.
Yes.
This with the seed beads can actually get to the right to the center, because I kind of like to have as little of the metal showing. And it won't be perfect because, like, as you can see there, like it doesn't quite have enough room, but the seed beads are kind of the closest you're going to get. Some 8O seed beads will work on some of the strands, but on the thicker strands, I could not get 8O seed beads to work. All right, let me check. Do we have any questions so far, Rachel, on these?
I don't think so.
Cool. Alrighty. What bead? I haven't actually picked out what bead I want to go with these red seed beads. But I think I wanted to follow this design. This was me experimenting earlier. I really liked just having
those clear
one
beads that
heavy
you
bead.
have? Oh, I'm sorry.
Like these ones, I don't think they fit on all of the strands, unfortunately. I wish they did.
Yeah.
I know. It's like you basically just have to have a bead tray next to you and just experiment. And you will find things that work, but it will not be everything. Let's see. Oh, I have some other, to stay in the red theme. How much do you think, do you remember these old chains from the shop from years ago?
No,
It's
I
like
don't.
ages and ages ago.
I thought you were going to
It
talk
literally
about your
was just
chain monster. Oh, yeah,
Let's
that's
see
a
if I
good
can
point. Anita said you might be able to weave in some 24 or 26 gauge wire around the center. So what I had done last year is I strung up a bunch of seed beads and then I wrapped them around, so it was like a coil going around the snowflake. I wonder
Rachel,
if I even.
I have it right here, Rachel.
Well, I did that, and then I also did ones that were like a coil, but I don't think I have it in here.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I really liked that project last year, Rachel. So yeah, what Rachel did is she filled a whole wire with seed beads, and then basically took that strand and wrapped it round and around, and it actually had a really nice full look to it. Yeah, you can actually check out the Ornament Party recording of last year if you want some of those other technique ideas that we had come up with.
we did lots of experimenting. It was fun.
Did you see that Beadalon video where they turned these snowflake frames into spider webs for Halloween?
No, but I've seen some of the like pictures of it, and they were very cool.
Oh no, not the thicker one. Ah, darn it. Well, let me go ahead and make this strand. I just want to demo closing it off because I got a lot of messages about this part of it last year. But I want to bead. Well, actually, I can put it on for this strand. I think I want to. You need a decent with
Ooh,
it.
I like that.
With it. Yeah, with it being such a thick gauge of wire, you need to give yourself enough room to make your loop. Because it's you cannot make this the tiny. Can't make the tiny loops I usually make.
Yeah.
So around there, I have a decent amount of grip, and I can just bend that back. And that'll totally work.
Yes.
So I could do
love
this
it.
on multiple strands, but I won't be able to do this on all of them because I'd already tested this one, and it doesn't fit on all of the wires.
Yeah.
So this kind of presents its own fun little challenge where you're like experimenting with your stash, and you got to figure out what will work and what your options are. And then once you have them, then you can really start designing and kind of think more about balance and color contrast. I tend to really like when there's more weight on the outside of them. I think it has like a nice flow to it. But like literally unlimited options with these snowflake frames. So just like let your creativity run wild.
I think they're so fun. They'd be great to do with kids too.
Oh, absolutely. They could, yeah, absolutely. And they could also help experiment with your stash of what's going to work or not. But if you just have a bunch of these 6OC beads ready, and like even just a few other beads, like you'll be set. Do one more strand on this one. Rachel, I remember last year I got hooked on making these. They're like,
there were a lot of people that were so hooked on them. I thought it was so fun.
They're such a fun project. I don't sell the thinner gauge ones, but there are other versions available. So like if that is becoming like a big like barrier to you, like I think Beaded carries like maybe one that's a thinner gauge, but I would need to, you need to please double check that before you place the purchase. But I actually got requests for these ones because folks said they had tried some of the thinner gauge ones and they didn't hold up in the same way. So that was really interesting. They actually, in the end, still really preferred having the thicker gauge, even if it meant it was a little harder.
Well, I think it's nice, especially if you're doing them with kids or whatever. Like the thicker gauge wire just holds up better over time.
Yeah. Wait, how many? I'm curious if I can get this. I mean, obviously symmetry is really nice with the ornament frames, but I doubt it'll go on all 4 of these. It will. Okay, I'm doing 2 more, and then
yay!
It'll go on. So that's great. So that means I can now just have to find a thicker bead just for the other strands. I can still use these. That's really nice. It's a triumph. It's a Hanukkah miracle, Rachel.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Do you think our parents mind that we both have trees?
My mom growing up was fine with it. I don't think we were allowed to call it a Christmas tree.
All right. I think I called mine a Hanukkah bush one year.
It was just the tree. But we liked decorating it. It was fun for us, and we would put our Hanukkah presents under it. And then, oh my gosh, so we have woods next to my parents' house, and my dad would drag the tree out there and just throw it into the woods when we were done with it. And one year he didn't throw it far enough, and now there's just like, just like a Christmas tree growing next to my parents' house in the woods.
Wait, really?
Yes, for real. I was like, is
it
that
started growing again?
Yeah, I was like, well, I think a new tree grew. It must have been, I mean, they've lived there for a long time. It's been 20 years. So I was like, Dad, is that a Christmas tree? Like, are you guys just growing one now? So one year they could chop it down if they wanted to and throw it back in the same spot. And then 10 years later, they'll have another one.
That's really funny. All right, well,
yeah.
we have a few minutes. I wonder if we could probably come up with other beads for this one. I need a much thicker bead, but I already kind of like this simpler design on this one.
Ooh, it's pretty. And then you can just go like bananas on the rest of it.
Right. Oh. Yes, it works on all of it. Okay, what do you think of the contrast of the blue and red?
I think it's pretty.
Maybe, I think it could work. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Should I also mix in green or should I stick with the red? Design opinion, please.
Um,
Or should I do a mix of?
Were you doing the blue too?
I think so.
Okay.
Here, we'll experiment and you can tell me if you hate it or not. Rachel always tells me like it is. Let's see.
In the nicest way
And if you're
possible.
Let's see. I also
Okay.
just like
I
the
think it
mix
kinda
of the sea
works.
beads without the crystal.
I like the
I almost
crystal.
wish
I think it gives it some volume.
maybe I just have a different color crystal that would work. Because I really like. Ooh, the green's also really, it's already really nice. I don't think my big, I also had some big crystal rounds. I don't think they fit on all of them. It does. Another Christmas, another Hanukkah miracle. These ones are a little less blue. Yeah, that's
Ooh,
nice.
that's
We'll
pretty.
go with that. Let's see if I have enough room to make one. Okay, here's me. I need to. See, that'll hold that nicely. This
The
is the
tape coming
closest
in
I'll probably
clutch.
ever come in Scotch. This is the closest I'll ever be to being a seed beater. Maybe one day Danielle will rub off on me more. Maybe.
What about the...
What are you thinking?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading one of the comments. It says, Cynthia says, what about the tool that flattens the end of the wire like on the back end of earrings? And I'm trying to think of what she is talking about.
The back end of earrings.
Like, so we hammered the other ornament.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't go over that last one. We did hammer it, but it's not, it will reveal some like the copper.
Yeah.
And other, whatever the metal mix is.
You have to be really careful not to hit the beads.
Right, because you have to hammer with the, yeah, it is a little trickier that way. But it is possible. So our hope with this whole class today is just, we hope, like, this is just this, like, our first class in a gift making series of like projects that are like on the simpler side, that will make just either really nice things for you to put on your own tree or hang or to gift to other folks. Because I mean, there's nothing more special than receiving a handmade gift. Like Rachel sent me a Hanukkah gift and I love it so much.
I did.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
Am I allowed to say what it is?
Yeah, you can say what it is.
Rachel sent me a mala, and I'm pretty sure where all the beads the gemstones from the bead box?
Yeah, I think I had a couple extra chakra beads I added in there, but they were all from the bead box.
That's amazing. And then it had
All
this
from different bead
gorgeous,
boxes.
and then it just had this gorgeous like agate focal that she got from the shop. And I was like, no, don't give this back to me. This is for you. But it's so pretty. I can't believe how long the mala is. I don't know why I'm surprised.
Oh yeah, it's 108 beads.
It's so many beads.
You're telling
Go
me.
ahead and make my loop. Yeah,
Trying
literally,
nothing
I'm
in between
so.
each one.
Wait, can you read me Cindy's comment
I'm
while I work on?
trying. I have to pull it up on Facebook because this is shortening it.
Oh yeah, I also can't see the whole thing.
Let's see. Sam, I think the first video of yours was the snowflake one from last year. I remember being on the verge of panicking about being unemployed for 8 months and funds running out at the end of the year. Yeah, last year was really hard for a lot of us.
Gosh.
I found that Facebook Live and my worries went away for a bit. This totally got me excited about beads and have made so many ornaments, snowflakes, baubles, and sun catchers because of your inspiration. Shortly after that, I found a new job and am now days away from my first anniversary. You have no idea how much these Facebook Lives mean. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
Oh my
Thank you so
God.
much. I'm not home at the moment, but I have so many ideas from what Rachel just shared. Thanks. Oh, thank you guys so much for
Cindy's.
being here. Like so much.
Oh my.
We
Cindy
couldn't
just
do
made
this
my
without
day. Literally.
you.
We'd be talking to a void.
Yeah. You just be chatting with me,
Like,
but it wouldn't
alrighty,
be the
Rachel, what are we
same.
making today? Oh, Cindy, thank you so much for sharing that. Oh, my goodness. Alright, I'm gonna finish up this ornament and then we'll wrap up. Oh, this one's so different than the other ones I did.
It's pretty.
I like it. I think I need. No, it'll be fine. I don't try to make the strands match exactly. I more follow the length of the wire, and also they don't all start in the same place in the middle because of
Yeah.
they can't all be in the same place at
I
once.
had wrapped on a button
So,
last year over the middle of.
oh right. I forgot. Yeah, wow. Yeah, y'all watched the last year's party too. You'll have like
I
twice as
went a
many
little
ideas.
crazy. Yeah. Last year, Sam was like, "We're just gonna like make with the ornaments." I'm like, "No, this is gonna be a class." I don't know how to
Alrighty, I
unstructure.
did it.
Woohoo!
Oh, I love this one. See, that's literally just 6 OC beads.
It's pretty.
A few baubles. There we go. Oh, Rachel, we did our second ornament making party and a tree lighting this year.
Woo woo! Super Saiyan.
Amazing. Alrighty, folks, don't forget to pick up your snowflake frames while they're in stock. We finally have them. Literally, I was getting so many messages about them, so they are here. Go scoop them up. Figgy says you're not talking to a void. No. When folks are here, we don't feel that way. But if no one was here, that might be how it would feel. But we'd probably still do it. I like my beating time with Rachel. It's really a lovely part of the week.
It's my fave.
I feel about 3 times as good as I did when we started today.
It's seriously a mood booster doing these lives.
I think it's the combination of like beading and get to bead with someone. Like, I really think it makes a big difference. It's like why so many folks like to like have a friend over while they bead.
Yeah.
Beady friends, says Shira. Absolutely.
Yes.
Wait, I'm gonna have to catch up on some of these comments once we sign off, but we're at time, so we're gonna go ahead and hop off. Thank you
Yes.
all for being here with us. You are
Thank
our
you.
BD family. We are thankful. I am thankful for you. I'm sure Rachel, I can't speak for Rachel.
Yes, I'm so
um,
thankful for you.
and I'm thankful for you, Rachel. Thank you for sharing all of your ideas with us. And just, I was texting Rachel like some of the photos of the projects we've done over the last year because we've been doing these classes since June of 2020. And holy moly, there's so many projects we've done. I had forgotten how many projects.
We've done a lot of projects.
And they're literally all saved to the YouTube archive. So if you ever like or cannot think of what to do, scroll that and Rachel probably has some inspiration for you. Or Danielle Wicks has taught classes. We've
Yeah,
done classes with
Sarah's taught some
Sarah.
classes.
There's so much
Did a
that you
class
can
with
get
Lynn.
inspired
That's
by.
how I learned stringing.
Yeah, we have our Stringing 101 class. I'm on Wednesday, I'll be live with Sarah Ayler of Snowflakes, I believe on the
Oh, fun.
Snowflakes page. I sent Sarah her first Sam's Beadbox. I said, it's time for you to have one. And she's going to use Snowflakes with the box.
Ooh.
So I'm excited for that. And then on Friday, Friday's the 10th. So we got to that's our launch day for the December Sam's Beadbox. So, oh my God, it's so pretty. Rachel, it's so
I'm
pretty.
so excited. I've heard
Why do I
you
wear a
saying
mask?
that,
When
and
do I put
I'm
it
like,
on?
I want to know what's in it.
It's incredible. I think you're gonna love it. It's so pretty. So keep a little bit of room on your tree for when you get the box. Just a little bit.
Oh, is there ornament frames in it?
No,
Oh, no. Okay.
but
I'm
you
very
might be
curious.
inspired.
Okay.
So happy Friday, everyone. Have a beautiful weekend, and I can't wait to see you. Wait. Rachel, you're having a sale? What, are you having a sale?
Yes, I'm in the middle of a show right now. And
Where at?
in Rainbow Gems gift shop.
My
We're having
favorite.
our
It's like
12 days.
one of my favorite Facebook's groups.
Yes, we're having our 12 days of Christmas sale. I have, in addition to jewelry, I also have hidden gem candles in there. We have some ornaments that Denise made that are really beautiful. I have hidden gem sugar scrubs too that I've made.
I'm trying to find the link to the group so I can put it in the comments.
It's
Y'all
yeah.
go show some love to Rachel. She has I saw those candles and the sugar. That's so beautiful, and of course your jewelry is incredible. So
Thank you.
I just posted the link to the Rainbow Gems group. Oops, I just posted to Facebook too. Go show some support to Rachel today. It would really be
Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
Alrighty.
I work with my friend on the candles, so I'm very excited about those too.
And so there's a gem inside the candle.
There's a gem inside the candle. And I show
exciting.
you which gem is in the candle. So you're not, I mean, it's a surprise, but they're great stocking stuffers too.
Oh, that's so fun. Alrighty, y'all. We're signing off. Have a great weekend.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you
Have
soon,
a great
Rachel.
weekend, everyone.